Imagine standing at the foot of a mountain, the peak hidden in clouds, and you have two choices: rely on your raw talent or commit to the grind of daily effort. What if I told you that the true path to greatness isn't paved with innate skills, but with relentless consistency? Talent can shine, but it flickers. Consistency, on the other hand, is a steady flame that illuminates the darkest paths. Think about those moments when you felt like giving up, when the allure of instant gratification whispered sweet nothings in your ear. What if I told you those were the moments that defined you? Every day you show up, even when the world seems indifferent, you're carving out a space for your success. The small, mundane choices you make daily stack up, creating a mountain of achievement that talent alone could never reach. Can you see how the journey is a test of endurance, not just ability? The secret lies in the mundane, in the routine, in the unwavering commitment to keep pushing forward. So, how do we tap into this power? Let's dive in and explore the art of transformation through the sheer force of constancy. If you're looking for more emotional balance, clarity in decision-making, and want to learn how to handle life better, this content is for you. So go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because with each video you'll grow stronger on the inside and see life with greater wisdom. Defining constancy and talent. Differences and interrelations. When I think about constancy and talent, I realize that they often get tangled in a web of misunderstanding. Talent is that innate ability, the spark that some people seem to have from the get-go. It's the musician who can play by ear or the athlete who excels without much training. On the other hand, constancy, now that's a different beast altogether. It's the dedication to practice, the unwavering commitment to improvement over time. While talent can give you a head start, it's constancy that truly paves the road to success. In my own life, I've encountered numerous talented individuals who, despite their natural gifts, fell short of their potential because they lacked consistency. I remember a friend who was an exceptional painter. He had an eye for color and composition that most people would kill for. But when it came to putting in the hours to refine those skills, he often faltered. His talent was undeniable, but without the constancy to back it up, he never reached the heights that he could have. Conversely, I've also met people who might not have been the most naturally gifted but were relentless in their pursuits. Take my old high school buddy, for instance. He wasn't the best athlete on the team, but he showed up for every practice, rain or shine. His dedication paid off. He went from warming the bench to being a crucial player. This experience made it clear to me that while talent can open doors, it's the persistent effort that keeps them open. So, can we say one is more important than the other? Not quite. They are interrelated in a way that one can elevate the other. Talent might give you an edge initially, but without constancy, that edge can quickly diminish. A person with sheer persistence can outshine a talented individual who doesn't work hard. It's a delicate balance, and understanding this relationship has been instrumental in shaping my own approach to challenges. In the end, I think the real takeaway here is that both constancy and talent have their places in our lives. They aren't mutually exclusive, rather they complement each other. When I reflect on my own journey, I see the moments where my commitment made up for my lack of natural ability. It's a reminder that, while we may not all be born with the same talents, we all have the capacity for constancy. The importance of discipline in building constancy. Discipline is the backbone of constancy. I can't stress enough how crucial it is to build that muscle of self-control if you want to achieve anything significant. For me, discipline has often meant setting rules for myself, sticking to a schedule, and prioritizing my goals over fleeting desires. It's like training for a marathon. You don't just wake up one day and run 26 miles. You have to put in the effort day after day, which requires a level of discipline that can be tough to maintain. There have been countless days when I've wanted to give in to distractions, binge watch a series or scroll through social media instead of working on my personal projects. But I've learned that these distractions are like quicksand. The more you indulge, the harder it becomes to escape. By cultivating discipline, I've been able to push through those moments of weakness. It's about creating habits that propel you forward, even when motivation wanes. One thing I've noticed is that discipline and constancy often go hand in hand. When I commit to a regular routine, I find that my consistency improves as well. For example, when I decided to write every day, I made it a point to set aside a specific time each morning. At first, it felt like a chore, but over time, it became a part of my daily rhythm. That regularity built a sense of constancy that ultimately enhanced my writing skills. History is littered with examples of individuals who embodied this principle. Think of Thomas Edison, who famously said that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. His relentless work ethic and discipline led to groundbreaking inventions. He didn't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect idea. He simply showed up, day after day, and put in the hours. His achievements were a testament to how discipline fuels constancy, leading to remarkable outcomes. Ultimately, I believe that discipline is what transforms aspirations into achievements. It's the engine that drives constancy and, by extension, success. Without it, our goals remain just that, goals without any real traction. So, if you're looking to build constancy in your life, start with discipline. It's the first step on the road to realizing your potential. Historical examples of people who achieved success through constancy. History is replete with stories of individuals whose success can be attributed to their constancy. One figure who stands out to me is J.K. Rowling. Many people know her as the author of the Harry Potter series, but what they might not know is the sheer number of rejections she faced before her work was published. Rowling wrote the first Harry Potter book while living as a single mother on welfare, and she didn't let her circumstances deter her. Instead, she persisted, honing her craft and submitting her manuscript to various publishers. Her constancy eventually paid off, leading to one of the most successful literary franchises in history. Another example that resonates with me is that of Oprah Winfrey. Her early life was anything but easy. She faced numerous challenges, including poverty and abuse, yet she remained constant in her pursuit of education and self-improvement. Oprah's commitment to her vision and her belief in her own potential led her to become a media mogul and an influential figure in the world. She didn't achieve success overnight. It was her unwavering belief in herself and her constant effort that made her a household name. Then there's the story of Michael Jordan, who is often considered one of the greatest basketball players of all time. What many people might not realize is that he was cut from his high school basketball team. Instead of giving up, he channeled that disappointment into determination. He practiced relentlessly, putting in countless hours to improve his game. His constancy in training transformed him into a legendary athlete, demonstrating that setbacks can be stepping stones to greater achievements. Similarly, I think of Albert Einstein, who faced significant challenges during his academic journey. He struggled in school and was told by some teachers that he would amount to nothing. Yet he remained constant in his passion for physics. His dedication to learning and his relentless pursuit of knowledge ultimately led to groundbreaking discoveries. Einstein's life is a testament to the power of constancy in overcoming obstacles and achieving greatness. These stories remind me that success is rarely a straight path. It's often a winding road filled with bumps and detours. The common thread among these individuals is their unwavering commitment to their goals. They didn't let setbacks define them. Instead, they used those experiences as fuel to drive their constancy. It's a powerful lesson that I carry with me in my own pursuits. The relationship between constancy and skill development. There's a profound connection between constancy and the development of skills that I find fascinating. When I engage in any new endeavor, I'm often reminded that skill acquisition is not a sprint but a marathon. It's the daily practice, the consistent effort, and the willingness to learn from mistakes that lead to mastery. I've seen this firsthand in my own life when I took up playing the guitar. Initially, I struggled to make sense of the chords and strumming patterns. But rather than getting discouraged, I committed to practicing daily. Each time I picked up the guitar, I focused on improving just a little bit more. Over time, those small increments of progress added up. It was through my constancy that I developed not only the technical skills but also the confidence to play in front of others. Research backs this up too. Studies on skill acquisition show that it's the consistent practice that leads to improvement. In sports, musicianship, and even in the arts, those who practice regularly and deliberately tend to excel more than those who rely solely on their talent. I often think about how someone like Serena Williams became a tennis champion. Her extraordinary talent was honed through years of disciplined training and a constant drive to improve her game. Moreover, constancy fosters resilience. As I navigated my own learning curve, there were moments of frustration when progress seemed slow. However, each time I faced those hurdles and pushed through, I built a sense of resilience that made me more adaptable. This, in turn, reinforced my commitment to practice regularly. The relationship between constancy and skill development is cyclical. The more consistent I was, the more resilient I became, and the better I got. Ultimately, I've come to appreciate that developing a skill is an ongoing journey. It requires patience and a continuous effort to stay the course. Whenever I encounter someone who is just starting out, I encourage them to embrace the process and focus on constancy. It's through that commitment that they will unlock their potential and achieve their goals. The role of growth mindset in valuing constancy. The concept of a growth mindset has been revolutionary in how I perceive challenges and setbacks. Coined by psychologist Carol Dweck, a growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. This mindset is crucial when it comes to valuing constancy. When I adopted a growth mindset, it shifted my perspective on failure. Instead of seeing it as a dead end, I began to view it as an opportunity for learning and growth. I remember a time when I failed a crucial exam. Initially, I felt defeated and disheartened. But then I took a step back and asked myself what I could learn from the experience. That's when I realized that my study habits were inconsistent. I decided to embrace the challenge and committed to a more disciplined study routine. This change. The impact of consistency in work environments and professional careers. When I think about consistency in the workplace, I can't help but reflect on my own journey. There was a time when I believed that talent alone would carry me through my career. It wasn't until I experienced the grind of daily tasks and the weight of deadlines that I realized the real game changer was consistency. You see, showing up day after day, even when motivation wanes, builds not only my skills but also my reputation. It's in those small, consistent actions that I have forged strong relationships with colleagues and clients alike. In many ways, consistency acts like a currency in professional settings. Employers often look for people who can reliably produce results over time, rather than those who shine brightly for a short period before fading away. I've seen teams where individuals who consistently deliver even average performance can outshine those who have bursts of brilliance. The steady worker becomes the backbone of a project, someone others can depend on, which ultimately leads to greater job security and opportunities for advancement. Moreover, I've noticed that consistency can help create a culture of accountability within a team. When everyone is committed to showing up and doing their best, it fosters an environment where challenges are met with collective resilience. I've been part of teams where consistent effort was celebrated, and this camaraderie made tackling tough projects feel less daunting. It creates a sense of belonging, a shared purpose that drives the entire team forward. Let's not forget about the personal growth that comes from being consistent. Every project I've worked on has taught me something new, sharpening my skills and expanding my knowledge base. I've found that my ability to adapt and learn quickly improves as I continue to push through tasks, even when they seem mundane. Every small victory fuels my confidence, proving to me that consistency truly pays off in the long run. Ultimately, the impact of consistency on professional careers cannot be overstated. It's about building a foundation that allows us to weather the storms of uncertainty and change. As I look back on my career so far, I realize that the moments I chose to be consistent, even when it was tough, have been the most rewarding. They've shaped not only the professional I am today but also the future I aspire to create. Consistency in education. How persistence surpasses innate intelligence. Reflecting on my educational journey, I can't help but think about the role consistency played in my success. There was a time when I believed that intelligence was the key to excelling academically. However, I soon discovered that persistence often trumped raw talent. I remember countless nights spent poring over textbooks, not because I was the smartest kid in class, but because I was determined to understand the material. Those late-night study sessions and the discipline to stick with my studies laid the groundwork for my academic achievements. I've seen firsthand how some of my classmates who were undoubtedly brilliant struggled because they didn't put in the consistent effort required to master the subjects. On the flip side, I watched as those of us who may not have had the highest IQs but worked diligently day in and day out surpassed our peers. It's a humbling realization that intelligence, while valuable, isn't the sole determinant of success in education. Consistency becomes the great equalizer, proving that hard work and dedication can lead to remarkable outcomes. Consistency in education also taught me the value of building effective study habits. Over time, I discovered the techniques that worked best for me, creating a study schedule, setting specific goals, and breaking larger tasks into manageable chunks. These habits became my allies, ensuring that I remained on track even when motivation waned. It was in the process of sticking to these routines that I found my learning transformed, making complex subjects feel more accessible and less intimidating. Moreover, I learned that setbacks are part of the educational process. There were exams I didn't pass and projects I didn't execute as well as I had hoped. However, it was my consistent effort to review, learn from my mistakes, and try again that led to eventual success. Each challenge became a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block, reinforcing the idea that persistence and consistency in the face of adversity can lead to growth and improvement. In the end, the lesson I gleaned from my educational experiences is that consistency is the backbone of learning. It's about showing up, putting in the effort, and embracing the journey, no matter how difficult it may seem at times. The rewards of this persistence extend beyond grades. They shape our character, instill resilience, and prepare us for future challenges in life. The influence of consistency in overcoming challenges and adversities. When I think about the challenges I've faced in life, I can't help but credit consistency as my guiding light. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, and I've had my fair share of setbacks. Whether it was personal struggles or professional hurdles, it was the consistent effort to push through that made all the difference. I remember a particularly tough time when I faced a series of rejections in my career. Instead of giving in to despair, I made a conscious choice to keep applying, networking, and improving my skills. During those moments of adversity, I often found solace in the small, consistent actions I could control. It wasn't about making giant leaps, it was about taking one step at a time. I would set daily goals, whether it was updating my resume, reaching out to a mentor, or dedicating time to learn a new skill. Each of these actions, no matter how small, contributed to my resilience and helped me maintain a sense of purpose amidst chaos. I realized that consistency can provide a sense of stability when everything feels uncertain. Moreover, I've learned that consistency can significantly impact our mental health during challenging times. When I was feeling overwhelmed, establishing a routine helped ground me. I would wake up at the same time each day, set aside time for exercise, and allocate moments for self-reflection. These consistent practices not only kept me focused but also empowered me to face challenges head-on, rather than succumbing to anxiety or procrastination. It's also interesting to observe how consistency fosters a mindset of perseverance. I've seen this in myself and those around me. When faced with obstacles, it's easy to feel defeated and consider giving up. However, when we commit to being consistent, we build a mental framework that encourages us to keep going. I remember a friend who was training for a marathon. Despite the physical and mental challenges, his commitment to a consistent training schedule allowed him to achieve something he once thought impossible. In summary, the influence of consistency in overcoming challenges and adversities cannot be overstated. It's about creating a framework of support, resilience, and growth that enables us to navigate even the toughest of times. As I reflect on my experiences, I am reminded that while talent may open doors, it is the consistent effort that truly helps us break through barriers and emerge stronger on the other side. The importance of consistency in sports and athletic performance. As an athlete, I've come to appreciate the paramount importance of consistency in achieving peak performance. Many people think that talent is the primary driver of success in sports, but I can attest from my own experiences that it is the consistent training and dedication that truly sets the winners apart. I remember my early days on the field where I would practice my skills relentlessly, not because I was naturally gifted, but because I understood that consistent effort would yield results over time. The process of honing athletic skills is akin to building a muscle. It requires regular, repeated actions to see growth. I've spent countless hours in the gym and on the field, pushing myself to the limit. Each training session, no matter how grueling, contributed to my overall performance. I realized that it wasn't just about the big games, but the daily commitment to improving my technique, endurance, and mental toughness that made the difference when it mattered most. One of the most significant lessons I've learned in sports is how consistency breeds confidence. Every time I showed up for practice, I was reinforcing my belief in my abilities. I vividly recall a game where I was under immense pressure. However, because I had consistently trained and prepared, I felt ready to tackle the challenge head-on. This confidence, built on a foundation of consistent effort, allowed me to perform under pressure and achieve results I once thought were beyond my reach. Additionally, consistency can be a powerful motivator in a team setting. I've played on teams where certain members consistently brought their best selves to practice and games. Their dedication inspired the rest of us to elevate our performance. There's something contagious about a teammate who shows up with enthusiasm and commitment every day. It fosters a culture of accountability and encourages everyone to strive for excellence. Ultimately, the importance of consistency in sports cannot be understated. It shapes our skills, builds our confidence, and fosters a sense of teamwork that propels us toward success. As I reflect on my journey as an athlete, I am reminded that while talent may capture attention, it is the unwavering commitment to consistent practice that truly leads to greatness. Comparison between consistency and talent across different areas, arts, sciences, business. In my exploration of various fields, I've become increasingly fascinated by the interplay between consistency and talent. Whether it's in the arts, sciences, or business, it seems that the balance between these two elements can determine the trajectory of success. I've seen talented artists struggle to find their voice because they lack the consistency to refine their craft. Conversely, I've witnessed individuals with less innate talent rise to prominence through sheer dedication and persistent effort. In the realm of the arts, talent can certainly provide a head start. However, I've come to realize that without consistent practice, even the most gifted individuals can stagnate. I remember attending an art workshop where the instructor emphasized the importance of developing a daily practice. Those who committed to consistently creating art, experimenting with techniques, and seeking feedback improved exponentially. It was a powerful reminder that while talent may open doors, strategies for cultivating consistency in daily life. When I think about consistency, I often reflect on the little things I do every day that accumulate over time. It's fascinating how small, seemingly insignificant actions can lead to monumental changes when done regularly. One strategy that I've found particularly effective is setting clear, achievable goals. Instead of overwhelming myself with massive objectives, I break them down into bite-sized tasks. For instance, if I want to improve my writing skills, I might commit to writing just 200 words each day. This small goal feels manageable, and before I know it, I've completed a full article or a chapter in a book by the end of the month. Another essential strategy is creating a routine. Establishing a daily routine helps me to automate my efforts, making it easier to stay consistent. For example, I've set aside specific times during my day dedicated solely to practice or learning. This has turned into a non-negotiable part of my schedule, much like going to work or exercising. When I prioritize these time slots, I find that my commitment to consistency becomes stronger, and I start to look forward to these moments instead of viewing them as chores. Accountability plays a crucial role in cultivating consistency as well. I've learned that sharing my goals with friends or colleagues can significantly increase my likelihood of sticking to them. When I know someone is watching my progress, it motivates me to stay on track. This could be as simple as checking in with a friend once a week about my writing goals or joining a study group where we collectively push each other to meet our objectives. The sense of community and shared commitment can work wonders for maintaining my consistency. Tracking my progress is another strategy that has proven beneficial. I've started using journals and apps to log my daily activities and milestones. Seeing my progress visually, whether it's through checklists or graphs, gives me that extra boost of motivation. It's gratifying to look back at what I've accomplished over time, and it reinforces my belief that consistency is indeed paying off. Each checkmark on a list reminds me that I'm moving closer to my goals, no matter how small the steps might seem. Lastly, I've realized the importance of celebrating small victories. Acknowledging my progress, no matter how minor, helps keep my spirits up and reinforces my commitment to consistency. Whether it's treating myself to a coffee after completing a week of writing or simply taking a moment to reflect on what I've achieved, these little celebrations serve as reminders that consistency is rewarding. They create a positive feedback loop, encouraging me to continue putting in the effort day after day. The role of failure and resilience in building consistency. Failure is often viewed as a negative experience, but I've come to recognize it as a vital component of developing consistency. Each time I've faced setbacks, I've had the opportunity to learn something new about my process and myself. For instance, when a project I poured my heart into didn't pan out as I had hoped, it felt disheartening at first. However, reflecting on what went wrong allowed me to adjust my approach, ultimately leading to a more successful outcome in the future. Embracing failure as part of the journey has helped me build resilience, which bolsters my commitment to being consistent. Resilience is more than just bouncing back. It's about cultivating a mindset that embraces challenges as part of the growth process. I've found that when I encounter obstacles, it's essential to remind myself why I started in the first place. This practice helps me stay grounded and focused on my long-term goals. For example, when I was training for a marathon, I faced numerous physical and mental hurdles. Instead of allowing these setbacks to derail my training, I leaned into them, using each challenge as an opportunity to strengthen my resolve and commitment to my race day. Moreover, the ability to adapt is crucial for maintaining consistency in the face of failure. There have been times when my initial plans didn't go as expected, and I had to pivot. Learning to be flexible has allowed me to adjust my methods and continue moving forward rather than getting stuck in disappointment. For example, if a particular writing technique isn't yielding the results I want, I experiment with different styles or genres instead of giving up altogether. This adaptability helps me maintain my consistency even when faced with challenges. Building resilience also requires a supportive environment. I've intentionally surrounded myself with people who encourage perseverance and understand the value of consistency. Their support reminds me that setbacks are part of the process and that I'm not alone in my journey. Through shared experiences, we can encourage one another to keep pushing forward, even when the going gets tough. This sense of community fosters a culture of resilience, making it easier for all of us to remain consistent. Finally, I've learned that self-compassion plays a significant role in my ability to cope with failure. Instead of being overly critical of myself when things don't go according to plan, I practice kindness and understanding. Acknowledging that everyone faces challenges helps me to be more forgiving when I stumble. This mindset not only allows me to recover more quickly but also reinforces my commitment to consistency, as I understand that mistakes are simply stepping stones on the path to growth. The influence of social media and instant gratification culture on perception of consistency versus talent. Social media has revolutionized the way we perceive success, often conflating talent with overnight achievement. Scrolling through my feed, I see countless examples of individuals showcasing their successes, often without the context of the hard work and consistency that got them there. This can create a skewed perception, leading many to believe that talent alone is the key to success. However, as I've navigated my own journey, I've come to appreciate the long, often invisible road of dedication and persistence that underpins those seemingly instantaneous achievements. The culture of instant gratification can be particularly detrimental to our understanding of consistency. In a world where we can order food, get news, and even achieve social validation at the click of a button, there's a sense of impatience that permeates our daily lives. I've found myself falling into this trap, wanting quick results from my efforts without recognizing the value of the process. It's essential to remind myself that true mastery and success often take time and consistent effort, rather than a flash in the pan. Moreover, the highlight reels that dominate platforms like Instagram and TikTok can lead to negative self-comparisons. When I see others seemingly achieving their dreams effortlessly, it's easy to feel inadequate about my own progress. This has challenged me to recalibrate my expectations and focus on my journey, rather than getting caught up in the allure of talent. By recognizing the behind-the-scenes work that goes into those polished posts, I remind myself that consistency, rather than innate talent, is what truly leads to lasting success. Additionally, social media often fosters a sense of competition, which can undermine the value of consistency. The pressure to constantly perform can lead to burnout, making it difficult to maintain the steady effort required for real growth. I've learned to approach my social media consumption with a critical eye, seeking out content that celebrates the process and the struggles alongside the successes. By following accounts that emphasize the importance of hard work and persistence, I can cultivate a healthier perspective on my own journey. Finally, I found that taking breaks from social media can be incredibly beneficial for my mental health and focus. When I step back and limit my exposure to these curated lives, I can concentrate on my own goals and the consistent efforts I need to achieve them. This mental clarity allows me to appreciate the value of my journey, reinforcing my belief that consistency matters far more than talent alone in the long run. Inspiring testimonies and stories of individuals who exemplify consistency over talent. One of the most compelling stories I've come across is that of J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before her meteoric rise to fame, Rowling faced numerous rejections from publishers and struggled to make ends meet as a single mother. Rather than giving up, she continued to write, honing her craft with each draft. Her story is a testament to the power of consistency. It wasn't raw talent that got her published, but her unwavering commitment to her writing. Rowling's journey shows that perseverance can lead to extraordinary outcomes, even in the face of adversity. Another inspiring figure is Thomas Edison, whose relentless pursuit of invention exemplifies the value of consistency. Often remembered for his famous quote, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." Edison's life was marked by failure and experimentation. He famously failed thousands of times before successfully inventing the light bulb. Edison's story illustrates that talent may spark an idea, but it's the consistent effort and resilience in the face of failure that ultimately leads to success. Then there's the story of Michael Jordan, who is hailed as one of the greatest basketball players of all time. However, many don't know that he was cut from his high school basketball team, which could have easily discouraged him. Instead of succumbing to defeat, Jordan committed himself to practice and improvement. His incredible work ethic and consistency on the court led him to become a six-time NBA champion. Jordan's journey underscores the importance of perseverance, proving that consistent hard work often trumps natural talent. In the realm of science, we can look at the life of Albert Einstein. Known for his groundbreaking theories, Einstein faced academic struggles early in his life, often being dismissed as a poor student. Yet, he remained curious and dedicated to his studies, consistently pursuing knowledge and understanding. His story teaches us that even those who may not initially seem talented can achieve greatness through consistent effort and intellectual curiosity. Lastly, I can't help but mention the inspiring journey of Oprah Winfrey. Raised in poverty and overcoming significant hardships, Oprah's consistency in her career has made her a household name today. From her early days in local media to hosting her own nationally syndicated talk show, she has consistently worked to uplift and inspire others. Oprah's story is powerful. As we wrap up our journey today, let's take a moment to reflect. Think about the times you've been tempted to give up, to let that fleeting talent take the lead. But remember, consistency is the real game changer. It's the daily grind, the small, seemingly insignificant actions that lead to monumental growth over time. Have you ever seen someone who isn't naturally gifted but outshines everyone else through sheer determination? That's the power of constancy. It's not about being the best, it's about being committed. So, what's your next step? How will you incorporate this mindset into your daily life? I challenge you to identify one area where you can be more consistent. Will it be your morning routine, your fitness goals, or maybe even your learning journey? Write it down. Share it in the comments. Let's hold each other accountable. Remember, every small effort compounds, and soon enough, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. So keep pushing forward. Embrace the process, because in the end, constancy will always outshine talent. What will your story be? Let's keep this conversation going.